When you begin to look at life differently, you start to live differently. Many people go through life facing challenges, obstacles, and difficulties, but the way they respond is what defines the outcome. The truth is that challenges are not always the problem. The problem often lies in how we perceive them. Perspective is a powerful tool because it influences your emotions, your decisions, and your actions. When something goes wrong, most people immediately focus on what's broken, what's missing, or what they've lost. But shifting your perspective allows you to see possibilities instead of limitations, lessons instead of losses, and opportunities instead of setbacks. This change in focus doesn't happen overnight. It is a conscious practice that requires you to train your mind to respond differently. Imagine two people facing the same difficulty, losing a job. One person sees it as the end of the road, a crisis that crushes their confidence and identity. The other person chooses to see it as an opportunity to grow, to pivot, to chase a passion that they had ignored for years. The difference between the two outcomes lies in perspective. The first person becomes stuck in fear and despair, while the second turns the situation into a stepping stone. Life does not promise a smooth ride. It promises experiences that will shape you. How you interpret those experiences determines whether you feel defeated or whether you rise stronger. By learning to shift your perspective, you give yourself the ability to take control of how you respond to life. Your mind has an extraordinary ability to filter information. It focuses on what you repeatedly give attention to. If you only focus on what's going wrong, you will keep finding reasons to be discouraged. If you focus on what's possible, your brain starts searching for opportunities, solutions, and new ideas. This is why perspective is powerful. It directs the lens through which you experience reality. For example, many successful people look back at failures as the turning points that shaped their journey. At the moment of failure, they may have felt pain and disappointment, but with the right perspective, they use that moment as fuel to push forward. When you adjust the way you see setbacks, they no longer become reasons to stop, but reasons to fight harder. Another important aspect of perspective is gratitude. When you are grateful, your focus shifts from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude allows you to recognize what you already have instead of complaining about what's missing. Someone with little but a grateful heart often feels richer than someone with much but a dissatisfied outlook. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems. It simply prevents problems from dominating your thoughts. It reprograms your perspective to acknowledge that even in tough times, there are things to appreciate. This balance gives you strength to endure hardship without being consumed by it. Shifting your perspective also requires letting go of victimhood. Life is unfair to everyone in different ways. Some are born with fewer resources. Some face health struggles. Others deal with personal losses. If you choose to focus only on how life has been unfair to you, your energy will drain into resentment and bitterness. But when you accept that you cannot always control what happens to you, yet you can always control how you interpret and respond, you reclaim your power. Winners don't deny the pain they experience. They simply refuse to stay stuck in it. They look at hardship as training, as preparation for the strength they will need tomorrow. This shift transforms you from a victim of circumstances into the architect of your future. Perspective is not about ignoring reality. It is about reframing it. You cannot simply pretend that everything is fine when it is not. Instead, you look at reality honestly, and then you choose a perspective that empowers you. For instance, when athletes lose a game, they don't deny the defeat. They acknowledge it, study it, and then use it to improve their next performance. They view losses not as permanent failures, but as lessons. That reframing is what allows them to continue competing and eventually win. You can apply the same principle in your life. If something doesn't go the way you wanted, instead of asking, why me, you ask, what can I learn? How can I use this? Another way to shift perspective is to surround yourself with people who see possibilities. If you spend time with people who constantly complain, blame, and criticize, you will start adopting their perspective. But if you connect with people who look for solutions, who stay optimistic, and who encourage growth, your mind begins to mirror those outlooks. You absorb the energy around you, and that energy influences how you see your challenges. This is why choosing your environment and relationships is crucial when you are working on shifting your focus. Perspective also grows when you intentionally practice mindfulness. In moments of stress, pause and ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? That simple question creates space between your reaction and your choice. For example, instead of saying, this obstacle is stopping me, you might reframe it to, this obstacle is teaching me patience and resilience. That one mental shift can reduce your stress and give you clarity. Over time, practicing this habit rewires your brain to automatically seek empowering perspectives rather than destructive ones. One of the greatest shifts in perspective is realizing that life is happening for you, not to you. When you begin to believe that every experience, whether pleasant or painful, is shaping you for something greater, you stop resisting and start embracing growth. You may not understand why something happened in the moment, but trust that it carries meaning. Many people who went through hardships later look back and say, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. Perspective turns suffering into wisdom, and wisdom into strength. In the end, the power of perspective lies in your choice. You can choose to focus on problems or possibilities, setbacks or lessons, losses or growth. Your focus determines your feelings, and your feelings determine your actions. If you want to win in life, you must train yourself to shift your focus toward perspectives that empower you. Every challenge you face is either a stumbling block or a stepping stone, depending on how you see it. Choose the perspective that builds you, strengthens you, and propels you forward. Because when you change how you see challenges, you change how you live. And that is how you begin to win. Distractions are everywhere, constantly pulling your attention in multiple directions. In today's fast-paced world, the ability to focus has become a rare and valuable skill. Most people drift through their days reacting to every notification, email, and minor interruption, leaving little mental space for deep work or meaningful progress. When you allow distractions to dominate your attention, you essentially give away control of your life. The truth is that focus is not just about productivity, it's about energy, clarity, and purpose. Eliminating distractions is a critical step toward shifting your focus and achieving success. It starts with understanding what truly matters to you and recognizing what doesn't. Distractions come in many forms: digital, emotional, and even self-imposed. Smartphones, social media, and constant connectivity keep our brains in a state of low-level chaos, preventing sustained attention. Emotional distractions, like unresolved conflict or lingering regrets, occupy mental space, making it harder to concentrate on tasks that actually move you forward. Self-imposed distractions occur when you procrastinate, overthink, or indulge in habits that provide temporary comfort but long-term stagnation. The first step in eliminating distractions is awareness. You must observe where your attention is going, how much time you spend on unproductive activities, and how these diversions affect your progress. Once you identify the distractions, you can begin to create strategies to minimize them. One effective strategy for eliminating distractions is setting boundaries. This means controlling your environment so that it supports focus rather than undermines it. For instance, when working on a critical project, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and create a workspace that is free of clutter. This is not about avoiding life or becoming isolated. It's about giving yourself permission to engage fully with the tasks that matter most. The environment you cultivate can significantly influence your ability to maintain focus. Just as athletes train in spaces designed for performance, you must shape your environment to support your mental energy and attention. Another key aspect is learning to prioritize. Many people become distracted because they do not clearly understand what matters most. When everything feels urgent, nothing truly gets your attention. Clarifying your priorities helps you decide where to invest your focus and energy. Create a hierarchy of tasks, distinguishing between urgent and important activities. Focus on high-impact actions that contribute to your goals, and let go of tasks that do not. This requires discipline and courage because it often means saying no to things that seem pressing but do not actually advance your purpose. By committing to what is essential, you protect your attention from being diluted by the trivial. Time management techniques can also be powerful tools in eliminating distractions. Methods like the Pomodoro technique, time blocking, or batching similar tasks help structure your day so that your attention is fully directed at one task at a time. Multitasking is a myth. The human brain cannot genuinely focus on more than one complex task at once. When you try, performance drops, errors increase, and stress rises. By dedicating uninterrupted blocks of time to a single priority, you maximize efficiency and create momentum. Momentum is key because focus grows stronger the longer it is maintained. Once you allow yourself to be constantly interrupted, that momentum disappears. Digital discipline is essential in the modern age. Social media, messaging apps, and email can be major sources of distraction if left unchecked. Many people do not realize how often they check their phones or scroll through feeds without purpose. Creating limits, such as designated times for social media or turning off non-essential notifications, frees mental bandwidth for meaningful work. Consider it like training a muscle. Every time you resist the pull of digital distraction, you strengthen your ability to focus. Over time, these small habits compound, giving you a sharper mind and a more productive day. Emotional distractions are just as significant as digital ones. Unresolved feelings, lingering resentments, or excessive worry can occupy mental space, making it difficult to concentrate on the present. Learning to manage emotions effectively is a form of focus training. Practices like journaling, meditation, or even speaking with a mentor can help release emotional clutter. When your mind is clear of unresolved tension, it becomes easier to direct attention where it counts. Focus and emotional clarity are deeply interconnected. One cannot thrive without the other. Another important principle is accountability. When you publicly commit to a goal or share your priorities with someone you respect, it creates an external anchor for focus. This accountability can keep you on track when distractions tempt you to deviate. Many people succumb to distractions because there is no immediate consequence for losing focus. By creating accountability systems, whether through a mentor, coach, or peer group, you reinforce your commitment and increase the likelihood of sustained attention on meaningful work. It is also crucial to recognize that eliminating distractions is not about perfection. You will not remove every interruption or control every aspect of your environment. What matters is creating conditions that significantly reduce distractions and empower you to focus on what matters most. Even incremental improvements in focus can have dramatic effects on results. The act of consciously choosing what to give your attention to is a powerful form of self-mastery. It separates those who drift through life reacting to circumstances from those who actively shape their outcomes. Finally, remember that focus is a muscle that grows stronger with practice. Each time you resist a distraction, prioritize a meaningful task, or create a supportive environment, you strengthen your capacity to concentrate. Over time, your ability to enter deep, productive states becomes natural. Distractions still exist, but they no longer control you. Your energy and attention become your most powerful assets, enabling you to take consistent, focused action toward your goals. Eliminating distractions is not a one-time effort. It is a lifelong practice of choosing clarity over chaos, purpose over triviality, and results over noise. When you consistently remove distractions, you reclaim control of your life. You begin to focus on what truly matters, take meaningful action, and create momentum that propels you toward success. Life is full of noise, but winners learn to filter it out and focus on the signal. The ability to eliminate distractions is not just a productivity hack. It is a transformative practice that reshapes your energy, your clarity, and ultimately your results. By mastering focus and removing what pulls you away, you give yourself the best chance to win in life, to achieve your goals, and to realize your potential. Clarity is one of the most powerful forces in achieving success. Without clear priorities, your focus becomes scattered, your energy diluted, and your progress slow. Many people drift through life reacting to circumstances, responding to urgent demands, and constantly juggling multiple tasks, yet they rarely achieve what they truly desire. The key to winning in any area of life is understanding what truly matters and committing your attention and effort to those priorities. Setting clear priorities is not simply about making a to-do list or writing down goals. It is about creating a structure for your life that aligns your actions with your deepest values and ambitions. The first step in setting clear priorities is self-reflection. You must understand what you want, why you want it, and how it fits into your larger vision for life. Many people pursue goals dictated by external pressures, what society expects, what peers value, or what seems impressive to others, rather than what resonates with their inner purpose. When your priorities are externally dictated, you often find yourself frustrated, unmotivated, or constantly pulled in conflicting directions. By taking the time to reflect on your values, passions, and long-term aspirations, you identify the priorities that will give your life meaning and direction. This reflection creates a foundation for decisions that are aligned with your personal vision, rather than reactive or superficial choices. Once you identify your priorities, the next step is to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention, often appearing critical because of deadlines, external pressures, or the expectations of others. Important tasks, however, are those that contribute to your long-term growth, goals, and well-being. The challenge is that urgent tasks often overshadow important ones. People spend their days completing urgent but trivial activities while neglecting tasks that could make a profound difference in their lives. Learning to recognize this distinction allows you to focus on what truly matters, ensuring that your energy is invested in meaningful actions rather than constant busyness. Clarity in priorities also requires the courage to say no. Every commitment you accept is a commitment of your time, energy, and attention. When you agree to every request, you dilute your focus and compromise your ability to excel in areas that matter most. Saying no is not about being rude or unhelpful. It is about protecting your ability to achieve the things that will have the greatest impact on your life. The people who consistently succeed are not those who say yes to everything. They are those who carefully choose what they devote themselves to and decline what is misaligned with their goals. By learning to say no strategically, you create space for deep focus, creativity, and progress. Another critical aspect of setting clear priorities is breaking them down into actionable steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming and abstract, which often leads to procrastination or indecision. By identifying specific, concrete actions that move you closer to your goals, you create a roadmap for progress. Each step completed reinforces your momentum and builds confidence, while also keeping your attention focused on what matters most. Priorities without action remain dreams. Clarity without execution is ineffective. The process of breaking priorities into manageable tasks ensures that focus translates into tangible results. Time management is deeply intertwined with clear priorities. Once you know what is most important, you must allocate your time accordingly. This requires intentional scheduling, blocking off time for high-priority tasks, and resisting the temptation to fill your day with distractions or low-value activities. Treat your priorities as non-negotiable commitments, as you would a crucial meeting or an important appointment. This mindset transforms your daily routine from reactive to proactive, allowing you to direct your energy toward meaningful achievements rather than constantly chasing interruption. Clarity in priorities also means being flexible and adaptive. Life is unpredictable and circumstances may shift unexpectedly. Clear priorities do not mean rigidity. They mean knowing what matters most while remaining capable of adjusting tactics without losing sight of your ultimate goals. For example, an unexpected challenge may require you to temporarily shift focus, but understanding your core priorities allows you to make decisions quickly without becoming lost in the noise of less important tasks. This flexibility ensures that even when plans change, your energy remains aligned with what is truly valuable. Visualization is another powerful tool to reinforce priorities. When you consistently picture your goals and the outcomes you desire, your brain becomes attuned to identifying opportunities that support them. Visualization bridges the gap between intention and action, creating a mental map that guides your decisions and daily behaviors. By keeping your priorities vividly in mind, you strengthen your ability to recognize what deserves attention and what can be set aside. This mental clarity reduces indecision and enhances focus, allowing you to move forward with confidence. A key challenge many people face is the temptation to pursue multiple priorities at once. While it may feel productive to tackle several objectives simultaneously, the reality is that divided attention diminishes effectiveness. Human focus is finite. Scattering your energy across too many pursuits results in mediocrity rather than excellence. By concentrating on a few high-impact priorities at a time, you increase the likelihood of achieving meaningful results. Depth of focus far outweighs breadth of activity. Winners understand that doing fewer things extraordinarily well creates far more progress than doing many things poorly or inconsistently. Accountability reinforces clarity in priorities. Sharing your goals with a trusted mentor, friend, or colleague can help you stay aligned with your commitments. Accountability provides external reinforcement, ensuring that you do not drift into distractions or trivial tasks. When you know someone is aware of your priorities and expects updates, it motivates you to take consistent action. Accountability is not a constraint. It is a tool to sharpen your focus and keep your energy directed toward what matters most. Finally, the ultimate benefit of setting clear priorities is that it transforms your relationship with time, energy, and decision making. When your priorities are clear, every choice becomes easier. Decisions are made quickly, confidently, and in alignment with your goals. You experience less stress, greater clarity, and more consistent progress. Life becomes less about reacting to endless demands and more about actively shaping the outcomes you desire. Priorities provide a compass, focus provides the map, and action provides the movement that turns intention into achievement. By setting clear priorities, you create a life of purpose and direction. You reduce wasted energy, eliminate distractions, and align your daily actions with your long-term vision. Every task you undertake, every decision you make, and every moment you invest becomes intentional and meaningful. This clarity of focus is what separates those who drift through life from those who consistently win. When you prioritize effectively, you are no longer controlled by circumstance or urgency. You are guided by purpose. This is the foundation for success, the key to sustained focus, and the pathway to achieving the goals that truly matter to you. Consistency is the silent force behind every achievement, yet it is often underestimated. Many people expect results from bursts of effort, thinking that a few intense pushes or moments of inspiration will carry them to success. The truth is that consistent, disciplined action over time is what separates those who win from those who fail. Consistency is not about perfection or doing everything at once. It is about showing up day after day, committed to the process and aligned with your priorities. Without consistency, even the clearest focus and strongest intentions can falter. Success is rarely instantaneous. It is built on small, repeated actions that accumulate into significant outcomes. To understand the power of consistency, consider how habits are formed. Habits are behaviors repeated regularly until they become automatic, requiring less conscious effort to maintain. When you align your habits with your goals, consistency becomes natural. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, consistently exercising, eating well, and resting adequately creates a foundation for long-term success. Similarly, if your aim is financial growth, saving a small amount regularly, learning about investments, or building skills incrementally compounds over time. The principle is simple. Repeated actions, no matter how small, accumulate into extraordinary results when sustained consistently. Consistency also builds trust, both with yourself and others. When you consistently honor your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are reliable and capable of following through. This self-trust reinforces confidence, resilience, and motivation. Others notice as well. Colleagues, mentors, and peers respect those who consistently perform, deliver, and contribute. Trust creates opportunities and strengthens relationships, which are often crucial components of success. Inconsistent behavior, on the other hand, breeds doubt, hesitation, and missed opportunities. When you commit to consistency, you not only achieve results, but also cultivate credibility and reliability that magnify your influence and impact. One of the keys to consistency is setting realistic expectations. Many people fail because they overcommit or attempt too much at once, leading to burnout or discouragement. Consistency is sustainable, not extreme. It's better to take small, manageable steps regularly than to attempt massive efforts sporadically. For instance, reading 10 pages a day is far more sustainable than attempting to read an entire book in one sitting. Writing a few hundred words daily builds a habit of creativity more reliably than trying to produce a full essay in a single session. The focus should be on creating patterns that can be maintained over the long term, which ultimately leads to the compounded effects that drive lasting success. Another aspect of consistency is persistence through setbacks. Life will inevitably present challenges, failures, and obstacles. and your ability to maintain effort despite these difficulties is what defines your trajectory. Many people give up after initial struggles or setbacks, thinking that success should come quickly or easily. Consistency requires resilience, the capacity to continue acting toward your goals even when results are not immediately visible. Over time, these persistent efforts accumulate into breakthroughs. What seems like slow or negligible progress in the short term often becomes monumental achievement when compounded over weeks, months, and years. Consistency also requires discipline and structure. To act consistently, you must establish routines, systems, and schedules that support your goals. Structure reduces the reliance on motivation, which can fluctuate, and replaces it with predictable actions that occur regardless of emotional state. Motivation is unreliable, discipline is dependable. Successful individuals understand that waiting for motivation is a trap. What matters is creating systems that make action automatic. When habits and routines are aligned with your priorities, you no longer have to think about whether to act. Action becomes a natural outcome of the systems you've built. A critical element of consistency is accountability. When you share your goals or routines with someone else, it increases your likelihood of staying on track. Accountability acts as an external reminder of your commitments, reinforcing the internal discipline needed to maintain consistent action. Mentors, coaches, peers, or even journaling about progress can provide the feedback and reinforcement necessary to continue steadily toward your objectives. Accountability helps bridge the gap between intention and action, ensuring that consistent effort remains a priority rather than an afterthought. Consistency is also closely linked to patience. Many people fail to appreciate the time it takes to see results, expecting instant gratification. Success is rarely immediate. It is the accumulation of small, deliberate actions repeated over long periods. When you remain consistent, you cultivate patience because you understand that results are a natural outcome of sustained effort, not instantaneous reward. Patience allows you to navigate periods of uncertainty or slow progress without giving up, and it strengthens your confidence in the process. Another advantage of consistency is momentum. Each day of focused action builds upon the previous day, creating forward movement that becomes increasingly easier to maintain. Momentum is powerful because it reduces resistance and increases motivation. When you have established consistent routines, skipping a day feels unnatural, and maintaining effort becomes habitual. This compounding effect is what transforms small, daily actions into significant achievements over time. Momentum is a reward of consistency in itself, as it reinforces belief in your ability to succeed. Consistency also fosters mastery. Skills, knowledge, and expertise are developed over repeated practice and experience. Rarely does someone become excellent overnight. Mastery requires long-term dedication and disciplined repetition. By showing up consistently, you accumulate the practice, insight, and understanding necessary to outperform competitors and achieve your goals. Each repetition, no matter how small, contributes to your growth, making you more effective, confident, and capable over time. Finally, consistency cultivates resilience and mental toughness. Life will test your commitment, and the ability to act consistently despite challenges strengthens your character. The act of persevering, day in and day out, builds a mindset that refuses to be derailed by setbacks, distractions, or temporary failures. Consistency teaches you that success is not about perfection but persistence. Winners understand that excellence is a result of disciplined, repeated effort rather than occasional brilliance. In the end, consistency is the bridge between intention and achievement. It transforms focus into results, effort into progress, and vision into reality. It requires discipline, patience, resilience, and structure, yet the rewards are profound. By committing to consistent action, no matter the size of each step, you harness the compounding power of effort over time. Life becomes a series of deliberate, focused actions that steadily lead to victory. When you embrace consistency as a way of life, you no longer rely on chance or luck. You create the conditions for inevitable success. Setbacks are an inevitable part of life. No one progresses toward meaningful goals without encountering obstacles, failures, or moments of discouragement. Yet what differentiates those who achieve success from those who stagnate is how they respond to adversity. Resilience is the ability to recover, adapt, and grow stronger in the face of challenges. It is not merely about enduring hardship. It is about transforming difficulties into opportunities for learning, growth, and eventual victory. Understanding how to build and apply resilience is a critical step in shifting your focus and winning in life. The first step in building resilience is changing your perception of setbacks. Most people view failure as a negative endpoint, something to avoid at all costs. They fear embarrassment, disappointment, or the loss of control. Resilient individuals, however, see failure differently. They recognize that setbacks are temporary and often necessary steps along the journey to success. Each obstacle carries valuable lessons, insights, and experiences that can be applied to future efforts. By reframing setbacks as opportunities rather than defeats, you transform fear into motivation and hesitation into action. This mental shift is foundational for resilience because it allows you to approach challenges with curiosity and determination instead of defeat and despair. Resilient individuals also take responsibility for their response to setbacks. Life may throw unexpected challenges at anyone, but no one can control every circumstance. What is fully under your control is your mindset and how you respond. By taking ownership, you reclaim power from situations that might otherwise feel overwhelming. Instead of blaming others, circumstances, or fate, resilient people ask themselves, "What can I do now to move forward?" This proactive mindset shifts energy from frustration to problem solving. It encourages creative thinking and reinforces the belief that challenges are not permanent roadblocks, but temporary tests of skill, patience, and endurance. Emotional regulation is another cornerstone of resilience. Setbacks often trigger fear, frustration, or anger, emotions that can cloud judgment and derail progress. Resilient individuals learn to acknowledge these emotions without allowing them to dictate behavior. Techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, journaling, or reflection help process emotions constructively. This emotional clarity allows for calm decision making, clear problem solving, and measured responses instead of reactive behaviors. By mastering emotional regulation, you can face difficulties with composure and maintain focus on long-term goals rather than being consumed by temporary setbacks. Resilience also requires adaptability. Challenges rarely unfold in predictable ways, and rigid thinking can prevent progress. Those who are resilient are flexible, able to adjust plans, strategies, or approaches when faced with obstacles. Adaptability does not mean giving up. It means finding alternative paths toward your objectives. For example, if a business plan fails or a personal goal encounters unexpected barriers, resilient individuals analyze what can be learned and modify their approach. This ability to pivot while maintaining focus on the desired outcome ensures that setbacks do not become permanent derailments, but instead serve as catalysts for growth. Another critical component of resilience is persistence. Many people give up too soon, thinking that failure signals the end of their journey, Resilient individuals, on the other hand, understand that perseverance is key. They continue to take consistent action despite difficulties, trusting that cumulative effort will produce results. Persistence is closely tied to patience, as it requires maintaining effort even when progress seems slow or invisible. This steady commitment allows momentum to build, turning small actions into meaningful results over time. Resilience without persistence is incomplete, as enduring challenges alone does not create outcomes without deliberate, repeated effort. Building resilience also involves learning from setbacks. Reflection is essential. Without analyzing failures, mistakes, or challenges, you risk repeating them. Resilient individuals take time to evaluate what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what insights can be applied in the future. This continuous learning mindset transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Each failure becomes a guidepost for improvement, sharpening skills, refining strategies, and increasing the likelihood of success in subsequent attempts. Learning from adversity ensures that challenges contribute to growth rather than simply creating frustration or stagnation. Support systems are also crucial for resilience. While personal mindset and discipline are vital, no one thrives entirely in isolation. Surrounding yourself with supportive, positive individuals can provide perspective, encouragement, and guidance during challenging times. Mentors, friends, family, or colleagues who offer constructive feedback and emotional support help maintain focus and morale when setbacks occur. Resilience is strengthened when you can lean on others for insight or motivation while simultaneously taking responsibility for your own progress. This balance of independence and support reinforces endurance and determination. Self-care and well-being are often overlooked but vital elements of resilience. Physical health, mental clarity, and emotional stability provide the foundation necessary to withstand challenges. Regular exercise, sufficient rest, balanced nutrition, and mindfulness practices increase energy, improve mood, and enhance cognitive function, all of which support problem solving and perseverance. When you neglect your health, even minor setbacks can feel insurmountable. By prioritizing well-being, you create the stamina necessary to tackle obstacles with strength and clarity. Visualization and mental rehearsal are powerful tools for resilience. By imagining potential challenges and mentally practicing responses, you prepare yourself to handle adversity with confidence. Visualization builds mental toughness by reducing fear of the unknown and creating a sense of control over circumstances. Resilient individuals anticipate difficulties, develop contingency plans, and rehearse solutions in their minds. This preparation increases confidence, reduces anxiety, and allows for decisive action when setbacks occur. Finally, resilience is reinforced by maintaining a long-term perspective. Short-term failures are easier to endure when you see them within the context of a broader journey. Resilient people focus on their ultimate goals and understand that obstacles are temporary, not permanent. They maintain vision and purpose even when the immediate path becomes difficult. This long-term perspective prevents discouragement, supports sustained effort, and allows for the mental flexibility necessary to navigate challenges without losing focus. In essence, resilience is about transforming setbacks into comebacks. It is about mental strength, emotional regulation, adaptability, persistence, and learning. Life will challenge you, test you, and occasionally knock you down. Winners are not those who avoid failure, but those who embrace it as part of the journey, extract lessons, and continue moving forward. By cultivating resilience, you gain the ability to shift your focus away from temporary obstacles and toward opportunities for growth, improvement, and eventual victory. Every setback becomes a stepping stone, every failure a lesson, and every challenge a chance to strengthen your capacity to win. Success begins in the mind. A winning mindset is not something you are born with. It is cultivated through conscious practice, deliberate thinking, and consistent mental training. Your thoughts shape your actions shape your habits, and your habits ultimately shape your destiny. The way you perceive yourself, your potential, and the challenges you face determines the trajectory of your life. Developing a winning mind that is essential because it allows you to focus on opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems, and growth instead of limitations. It is the mental framework that enables you to act decisively, persistently, and strategically toward your goals. A winning mindset starts with self-belief. Confidence is not arrogance. It is a deep trust in your ability to learn, adapt, and overcome challenges. People with strong self-belief do not let doubts or fear paralyze them. They understand that mistakes and failures are part of the process, not indicators of permanent inability. When you cultivate belief in yourself, you create a foundation for consistent action and resilience. Even in the face of difficulties, self-belief propels you forward, allowing you to explore new ideas, take calculated risks, and embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Confidence grows through repeated action, reflection, and the acknowledgement of progress, no matter how small. Another essential component of a winning mindset is focus. The mind can only handle a limited amount of information and attention at any given time. Those who succeed understand the importance of directing their focus toward what truly matters. Distractions, negative thoughts, and trivial concerns are minimized, allowing energy to flow into high-priority goals. Focused individuals develop clarity about their objectives, the steps needed to achieve them, and the behaviors required to stay on track. Focus is like a magnifying glass for the mind. It intensifies effort, increases productivity, and accelerates results. A winning mindset harnesses focus consistently, ensuring that every action aligns with long-term purpose and desired outcomes. Optimism is another hallmark of a winning mindset. Life will inevitably present challenges, setbacks, and failures. How you interpret these experiences influences your trajectory. Optimistic individuals view difficulties as temporary, solvable, and often valuable for learning. They do not ignore problems or challenges, but they maintain the belief that solutions exist and that their efforts can create positive outcomes. Optimism fuels resilience, creativity, and motivation, allowing you to continue pursuing your goals even when immediate results are not apparent. When combined with focus and action, optimism becomes a powerful catalyst for achievement. A growth-oriented perspective is crucial for cultivating a winning mindset. Fixed thinking limits potential by convincing you that abilities, intelligence, and talent are innate and unchangeable. In contrast, a growth mindset emphasizes learning, improvement, and development. Challenges are seen as opportunities to enhance skills, failures as feedback, and effort as the vehicle for mastery. By adopting a growth mindset, you approach every situation as a chance to expand your capabilities, acquire knowledge, and improve performance. This approach creates an enduring sense of possibility and equips you to adapt to change, overcome obstacles, and continually elevate your performance. Visualization and mental rehearsal are practical tools to strengthen a winning mindset. By imagining successful outcomes, rehearsing strategies, and mentally navigating challenges, you train your brain to respond with confidence and clarity in real situations. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers across fields consistently use visualization to prepare for competition, presentations, or complex projects. Visualization aligns the subconscious mind with conscious goals, reinforces focus, and reduces anxiety by familiarizing the mind with success scenarios. Over time, mental rehearsal conditions the brain to act decisively and confidently under pressure, creating a mental state conducive to achievement. Discipline is another critical aspect of a winning mindset. Thoughts alone do not create results. They must be translated into consistent action. A winning mindset integrates self-discipline, ensuring that actions are aligned with priorities and long-term goals. Discipline is the bridge between intention and outcome. It allows you to maintain effort even when motivation fluctuates, when challenges arise, or when distractions tempt you away from your path. By combining a focused mind with disciplined action, you ensure that your efforts compound over time, transforming potential into tangible achievement. A winning mindset also embraces accountability. High achievers take responsibility for their choices, actions, and results. They do not blame circumstances, other people, or luck for failures or setbacks. Accountability reinforces self-respect, promotes reflection, and motivates continuous improvement. By holding yourself accountable, you strengthen mental resilience and create a feedback loop that enhances learning and performance. Accountability is not about self-criticism. It is about empowering yourself to make informed decisions, take deliberate actions, and learn from every experience. Persistence and patience are deeply intertwined with a winning mindset. Immediate success is rare, and the journey toward meaningful goals often involves delays, obstacles, and uncertainty. A winning mindset cultivates patience, recognizing that long-term achievement requires sustained effort and time. Persistence ensures that you continue acting consistently toward goals despite setbacks or slow progress. Together, patience and persistence provide the mental endurance necessary to navigate challenges, maintain focus, and continue progressing steadily toward success. Positive self-talk is another vital component of a winning mindset. The language you use internally influences your confidence, motivation, and focus. Negative self-talk undermines performance, breeds doubt, and reduces resilience, whereas positive self-talk reinforces belief in your abilities, encourages action, and strengthens mental toughness. By intentionally cultivating empowering language, you train your mind to interpret challenges as opportunities and to maintain momentum even in difficult circumstances. Positive self-talk is not about denial. It is about choosing thoughts that support growth, focus, and achievement. A winning mindset also involves learning to embrace discomfort. Growth, change, and success rarely occur in comfort zones. Individuals with a winning mindset recognize that challenges, uncertainty, and even temporary failure are necessary for progress. Rather than avoiding discomfort, they lean into it, understanding that it is often the precursor to mastery, resilience, and opportunity. By reframing discomfort as a natural and valuable part of the journey, you reduce fear, build confidence, and maintain focus on long-term objectives. Finally, a winning mindset integrates vision and purpose. Mental focus and determination are most powerful when they are anchored in a clear understanding of why you are pursuing your goals. Purpose provides meaning to your efforts, fuels motivation, and guides decision making. When your actions are aligned with your vision, every effort becomes intentional, every challenge becomes navigable, and every setback becomes a lesson. A winning mindset ensures that focus, discipline, optimism, and persistence are applied not aimlessly but strategically toward the fulfillment of meaningful objectives. In essence, cultivating a winning mindset is about training your thoughts, beliefs, and mental habits to support consistent action, growth, and resilience. It involves self-belief, focus, optimism, growth orientation, visualization, discipline, accountability, persistence, positive self-talk, embracing discomfort, and alignment with purpose. This mental framework transforms how you perceive challenges, respond to setbacks, and pursue opportunities. By developing a winning mindset, you train your focus, strengthen your resilience, and equip yourself to act decisively toward your goals. Success is not merely a product of talent or circumstance. It is the result of a mind conditioned to think strategically, act consistently, and persist relentlessly. The mind that is prepared to win ultimately shapes the life that wins.